Well, I did an oil change on it and there was a ton of water in it now. So we fixed the methanol in the oil issue with the carburetor, just dumping whatever was in it and just over, you know, kind of flooding the engine. Now we got water. So I did the intake gaskets, I think before last race, because I've been noticing some water in it. Now I lost like a gallon that last race out. So I don't know if I've messed up the intake gaskets putting it together, or if we got a crack somewhere. So we put a little Band-Aid on it. I definitely do not like that we did, but we'll try that and see what it does. I guess we're gonna get that other motor together quicker than I was anticipating. So my pit lift plan of getting like a dirt car lift or whatever is probably gonna be put on hold because I gotta buy a rotating assembly for that motor. I'm gonna get good heads for that one. I'm gonna get the World Product ones, probably the seniors, because that's what's legal in IMCA sport mods. Hopefully next year they give us like a spec motor deal and I can go to a roller cam and put a spoiler on the car. Yeah, we'll see if this motor stays together tomorrow night. I mean, we've got 10, 11 races on it, so this is the longest lasting Ford we've built, but them heads have been on every motor I've blown up since, so they've seen some catastrophic damage. Never noticed any cracks. I mean, the pistons have slapped them, bent the valves in them, and so they're probably cracked. So, but they're just junkyard GT40P heads off a probably a 1990 Ford Explorer. Yeah. So, other news. I got my son this. I got it for $100 off Facebook Marketplace. This is a Serpent two-wheel drive short course truck. He was doing really good with that. But I sold the Techno, if y'all didn't know. I'll do a whole video over this. But I got a Serpent SRX 8. Speaking of motors, I got an OS motor coming in today because the motor that came with it, this is like a on-road, high screaming motor, probably not a whole lot of torque. It's a Nova Rossi base, but I'll do a whole video over this. So hopefully this motor lasts this weekend. And I got a new nitro motor coming in for this one. It was super cheap. I'll do a whole video on it too. Straight from Taiwan is where it came from. Also, that hissing, I didn't fix it. I tried. It held to about 50 PSI. So use this as a reminder if my previous video didn't. Drain your freaking air compressor. Speaking of draining air compressors, we're gonna drain the one that I take to the track. And if any of y'all can recommend me like a pancake one that can seat tires on the bead, that's smaller, like can those little 3-gallon ones do it? I'm not like seating tires on the bead all the time at the track, but another issue with this generator, or this air compressor, is it stalls my generator at the track. So I have to pre-pressurize it, shove it in this little box here, and take it to the track, and hopefully we don't run out of air, which we haven't. I mean, just doing air pressure changes and stuff like that, it hasn't really had any issues. It's just, it's so big, and dealing with this, and I'm taking my truck tomorrow deep south because it's only going to be me. I'd rather a smaller air compressor. I've seen the Milwaukee's, but I don't think one of those battery powered Milwaukee's could seat a tire. But we're going to crack this water valve on here and we'll let it drain its water out of it. Because humidified air in your tires, it's probably not a good thing, especially when you're dealing with temperature and tire pressure swell, and if you're not running bleeders. So yeah, let's get to prepping this car. Setup has been done. We put it on setup plates, ran over the front end, made some changes. A lot of changes have been made before we go out to this race. All right, well, it's race day. I just was gonna load the car, pumped up the brakes, drove the car around the front yard a little bit to get to the trailer, and the brakes just didn't feel good. So we pulled it back in, just got done bleeding brakes, kind of. We got some issues. I just Again, another change we made was putting on new brake pads, and I put pad spacers on the rear end because we have 810 rotors. So I'm gonna see how the throw is when I pull it out, put it on the trailer. I'm bringing the brake bleed stuff, and I don't know. First late model race I won, I didn't have brakes at all. So I'm gonna be a one-man operation tonight. So y'all are only gonna get GoPro footage of the race. Hopefully this battery is gonna last all night. I'm rigging the charger. I'm gonna go through, make sure I got enough memory. And it's gonna be kind of weird because when I leave my spot, my pit spot, I like to be fully cinched in, like 100% ready to go. So I'm going to actually start the camera when I'm in staging lane. So I gotta loosen my belt to kind of do a weird arm deal to start it. So again, we'll see how that goes. All righty, we are loaded up, heading out to Deep South, and riding solo this time. We'll see what we can do tonight. Well, we made it. Had to get to the track, and literally coming in the pits, that tire went out. So had to go run up track supply, 15 minutes away, go grab one, come back to the track, go through tech, register. Now we're calm. So hot laps, we had to roll the track for a lot. They tried to let us go right when we got out there, and it was just too sloppy, and it was still kind of a little sloppy towards the end of our heat race. I feel like the hot laps. I feel like the last lap was my better one. I wasn't pushing the car too hard. Yeah, I don't know where I'm starting for the heat race. Y'all will see. GoPro died for the heat race, but we won that son of a bitch. 2 in a row here at Deep South. Kind of a little rough one. I think some guys were trying to dive bomb me on restarts, and on the initial start I thought I hit a hole and just stepped on my PP, but somebody got my left rear quarter and the whole rear of the car hopped up in the air and spun out. But got the spot back because it was literally first lap, first corner. And every restart, we had like 3 or 4 restarts, and just trying to use me up on the bottom and bump me off the bottom. But I really wasn't running the bottom, but there's just slop down there, and I was kind of running high, trying to different lines. And it's kind of weird because the race receiver was hot micing the whole time of car engine noise, and it sounded like somebody was on my driver door the whole time. So I mean, kind of had me in a weird mindset, like, oh shit, somebody's down there. Like, I'm not trying to shove them in the wall or anything, but yeah, I don't know, weird night, but we got it done. That's 2 for 2, like I said, here at Deep South. Kind of had a bad night cutting tires down. If I haven't said this yet, in the heat race, I cut that right rear down. That was like brand new. And then obviously rolling into the pits, we had that tire cut down. So yeah, the winnings are just pretty much paying for those 2 losses there. But we're gonna get home. We got like an hour and a half, 2 hour drive home, and yeah, get this car washed tomorrow. And I think that'll do it for this video. I appreciate y'all watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next week.